Let me know if this sounds familiar. You sit down to tackle a task, like I'm going to record a video for YouTube. Simple enough, right? But then you go to log in and your password doesn't work. So then you go open your password manager, and in there you see that you have urgent notifications of password breaches that need to be handled. So you knock those out. But then one of them requires you to go over to your email to verify something. So now you open your email and you see, oh, here's the updated schedule for my kids' basketball games. It's like, oh, I got to go add those to my calendar. So now you go and add all of those onto your calendar. And before you know it, you've just lost a half an hour and you haven't started recording the video. Sound familiar? Now, if you are a woman such as myself who is not only running a business, but managing a household, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're not just trying to get your work done and things for you. You're the household COO. That's what I call it, Chief Operating Officer. Chances are you're managing the 8,000 permission slips and school forms and 15 different portals for all the different activities. Maybe there's bills and passwords and calendaring and doctor's appointments and team schedules and mails and packages and the insurances and then the warranties, all those random administrative things that keep a household running, right? And these are not things that nicely wait till one convenient time of the week to pop up. These little tasks are popping up all throughout the day, every day, and can completely derail you from whatever it is you're trying to accomplish if you don't have a system for handling them, right? It prevents us from staying focused. We get stuck and then we end up every single day feeling exhausted. We're like, I know I did a lot of things, yet we feel like nothing got done. The reason this happens, it's all from the best of intentions because in the moment we think, if I don't do this right now, I'm going to forget about it. And chances are you could be right. You log into that password manager and you see those 5 urgent things that need to be handled. You're getting a little anxious, right? And your brain is like, we got to do this now because if we don't, I'm going to forget. And chances are you will forget because you haven't established a system for handling these pop up household COO administrative tasks. And your subconscious has learned if I don't do it right now, it's never going to get done because you haven't retaught or rewired your brain to say, hey, you know what? I have a system in place. And so we don't need to do it right now. Now, this is where most very traditional time management and productivity systems fail women that are truly running the COO of the household. Traditional time management was originated in a corporate setting years ago, right? And most of the tools that people are still using today were tools and systems that were built for corporate environments. And a lot of these systems were built prior to the technology age that we're in today. They were also built around systems where a lot of times people had assistants handling administrative tasks. These systems were not originally built for running a home. None of these systems are teaching you how to plan for the, onslaught of digital information, the forms, the paperwork, the portals, all of the stuff that in the moment they're essential, but as they pop up, they're not urgent in the moment until suddenly they are, right? The form that you were emailed about 3 weeks ago is now suddenly due today or maybe due yesterday, right? Now you're in the thick of it and the password has expired or the bill is due today or, this was the last day to do open enrollment for the insurance. Right, these things don't fit into neat traditional planning categories or planning systems. So we end up handling them one off in crisis mode all day long throughout our day, week after week, year after year. So today I want to share with you a really simple, elegantly simple, kind of two-step system, if you will, for better handling the household COO time. So again, first, let's kind of get clear on what I mean when I'm talking about this household COO time. All right. Think about all the administrative, operational, oftentimes not super fun or sexy things that we have to do to stay on top of running a household. The forms, oh my gosh, the forms, right? The paperwork for school, for medical, for after school activities, all of that kind of stuff. mailing and packages, the Amazon returns, right? Potentially bills, financial admin, the scheduling and coordinating of appointments and calendars. Sometimes it feels like I need a PhD in logistics to pull that off. Managing the passwords in the accounts, warranty registrations, updating contact info. These are tasks that don't always fit into regular routines, but potentially interrupt you throughout the week. The best way to tackle this is to implement just two very simple steps. Step number one is what I call creating your capture system. Here's how this works. Let's say you're sitting down, you're trying to get some work done, and then one of those household COO tasks pop up. Back to my original example, you're sitting down to record your video, and you need to log in, and now you've got to log into your password manager because something's not working right. And you see that instant, hey, you've got to address these passwords. You actually don't handle it right then, and instead you capture that as a task to be handled at a future date. That's part of step two. All right, so the first step in getting this system going is to decide, where is your capture system going to live, right? And it needs to be in one place. That is one of the 9 components in my top framework, is centralization. Now, it doesn't need to be some sexy, awesome place, all right? It might be that you just have a Post-it note, right? That you jot down any household COO stuff that has come up that you're not handling in the moment. If you're a Todoist person, it could be there. It could be a Google Doc. It could be the Notes app on your phone. It really doesn't matter where it is. What matters is that you have one place that you funnel this stuff to say, I know this needs to be done, but not right now. Okay. When that basketball schedule comes in, you can jot down, oh, I've got to go add the schedule to my calendar. Okay. Now, here's the thing, you're not ignoring them. You're putting them kind of in a parking lot until you get to step two. So, again, step one is identifying, what is your capture system going to be? Where's the one place that you can just put? And again, this is only for these little household COO things. All right. Now, the second part, and what makes this work, is that as part of your weekly planning process, this is the foundational thing that I teach everybody that goes through my top program, is you then schedule time in your calendar with yourself for household COO time. You've got to have the actual time on your calendar dedicated to handling all of those. And here's why it needs to be an actual appointment on your calendar. If you've got your capture system, right, and you're adding all this stuff to there, but you don't have a place to show yourself in your brain, hey, this is when I'm getting it done, you're going to default back into, I've got to do it right now. Because you don't see, you're not providing your brain the place to say, no, this is when I'm doing it. I won't forget. I have a scheduled time and I have my central place that I'm putting it. Now, how this, what this looks like is in your life is going to depend on what season of life you're in and how much household COO stuff comes at you every day. So I've tackled this different ways at different seasons of life. So right now for me, I either at some point on Saturday or Sunday, and it depends on what my week looks like, but when I'm doing my weekly plan, I'm blocking off usually a good 2 hours every weekend at some point to knock out all the stuff that is piled up on my household COO list, whether it's bills, scanning stuff, form filling out, responding to updating, coordinating schedules, whatever it is. And usually for me, if it's a normal week, it'll be on either a Saturday or Sunday morning. I just have that extra really good cup of coffee and I can just sit down and go, this is when I'm knocking all of this stuff out. Now, if you are someone that's like, oh my gosh, if I waited till the weekend, things would be delayed and late and all of that, maybe you just have a 30-minute household COO task every day, if that's what your life is telling you you need. And at least, again, what that can do for you is during the day, as those things are popping up, you're capturing it in your system, right? And then maybe at 4 o'clock, you're like, okay, now I'm going to sit down for 30 minutes and go knock out all of those things that came up. So how that looks on your calendar in terms of when you are scheduling your household COO time is going to be unique to each person because everybody's schedules, the amount of household COO stuff they have is different, right? If you've got a family with 5 kids, you may need daily household COO time. If you are an empty nester, you may be fine with just, once a week for an hour. It gets to look different for everybody, and it gets to change as your life changes, right? The amount of time and the frequency, there's no set standard on that. It doesn't matter. It's going to matter what's right for you. What does matter is it's consistently scheduled and it's protected time, not just this, I'll do it later and you don't know when later is. Your brain needs the reassurances of, I will get this done, right? And this is why I keep looking off to the side because that's where my planner is. So if I start feeling anxious about, oh, but I've got to get that schedule done, I can look over to my planner and I see, oh, I've got time this Saturday morning for household COO stuff. It's okay. It doesn't have to get done before then. You can relax, Megan. And it's like you're retraining your brain to not feel like it has to respond in the moment because you're showing it, I have a plan and a system for doing it later. This is why we so often fall into the it has to be done now because we don't have a system in place that we've proven to ourselves works. And so we're like, if I don't do it now, it's never going to get done. I bring that up because I want to make sure you understand. Give yourself some grace for how long it's going to take to retrain yourself to go, no, it's all right. So let's just kind of do a quick walkthrough of what this would look like in actual daily practice. Okay, so maybe kid comes home from school, there's forms, and it's for a field trip, and the form's due in like a week or something. Great. Now you go to your central thing and go, don't forget to fill out the form. And then you put that form in wherever your central paper bin is. Then maybe you get the notification about, oh, I've got to go in and update all these, change these 7 passwords. No worries. Make a note for yourself, change the 7 passwords, right? Oh, I've got to remember to, think ahead about figuring out when to schedule the upcoming appointment, whatever, capture it. I've got to schedule that appointment. And then you keep working on what you were working. You're just capturing it and you're able to stay focused. Then, when your household COO appointment appears on your calendar, now grab a cup of coffee, grab a snack, whatever, and sit down and go through all of those things. Get them all done at once instead of allowing it to interrupt and derail your focus all week long. I promise you a couple things are going to happen. Number one, you will decrease the amount of time it's taking you to get your focus work done because you're not allowing yourself to get interrupted, right? Because when we get interrupted, it's really hard to get back on track. So you're going to start to feel that increased productivity and sense of completion throughout the week, right? That's the first awesome thing that's going to happen. And then second is you are going to find it is far less overwhelming and you don't feel like you're pulled in 15 different directions if you just have one chunk of time and knock out all of those household COO tasks at once instead of jumping in and out of that role every day, multiple times a day. It just creates such a sense of less franticness, if you will. Here is what I want you to think about for your homework, all right? It's very simple. Number one, decide where that capture list is going to be for your household COO tasks as they pop up. And then look at your calendar this week and create your first appointment with yourself for handling household COO time, all right? And people say, well, how much? Do your best guess, learn from it, and decide, did this work for me or do I need to adjust the frequency or the time at which I'm scheduling my household COO time? That's going to be something that will evolve as you start to implement the system. Give yourself time, but do not put off starting the system. It is going to completely transform how you are staying on top of all of those little things. So happy planning, and I'd love for you to share below, where is your capture list going to be?